The cold darkness of space wrapped around the Wraith like a silent predator. Stars blinked in the distance, but there was no time to enjoy the view. Alarms screamed through the cockpit, red lights flashing across the controls. Alex Voss tightened his grip on the steering rods as the ship jerked sharply to the left, dodging another plasma bolt from the pursuing UPA patrol ships. "They're closing in, Wraith," Alex said, voice calm but eyes sharp. "Suggestions?" "I recommend not getting shot," Wraith replied dryly. Its voice echoed from the control panel, smooth, steady, and just sarcastic enough to sound human. 3 UPA fighters were on their tail, weaving through the nebulan expanse, a region known for its asteroid fields and electromagnetic storms. Only fools or desperate people traveled this part of space. Alex happened to be both. The ship rocked again, this time harder. One of the fighters clipped their rear shield. "Shield's at 43%, Wraith said. "We need to lose them, or we'll be space dust in 2 minutes." "Got it," Alex muttered, flipping switches and pulling the ship into a narrow canyon carved into a spinning asteroid. The walls rushed past, close enough to scrape the paint. "Bold move," Wraith commented. "Also suicidal." The UPA fighters hesitated at the entrance, then split up. 2 stayed on course. The third tried to circle ahead. Alex smirked. "Time to play dead." He killed the main thrusters. The Wraith drifted into a deep crevice, dark and quiet. With the ship powered down except for life support, it became a shadow among shadows. Alex held his breath. The patrol ships zoomed past, scanning but not detecting them. One hovered nearby, its searchlight slicing through the dark. It paused, then moved on. Alex let out a slow breath. "That's 2 close calls in 2 days." "Correction," Wraith said. 3. "You forgot the incident with the mining drone." "That doesn't count," Alex replied. "You ran into that one." "I was multitasking." "You were eating noodles." Alex gave a tired laugh and rubbed his forehead. "Fine. But right now we need to jump before they double back." The ship hummed back to life, quiet but ready. Alex pulled up the NAV map. The safest route was through an unmarked rift field, dangerous but unpredictable, which made it perfect for hiding. As Wraith spun the engines to full, Alex looked at the cracked screen in front of him. Lines of data scrolled across, encrypted and flashing red. It was the reason they were being hunted. The files he stole from the UPA weren't just classified, they were damning. Experiments on sentient AI, shutdown orders, secret tests. Proof that Wraith was meant to be destroyed like the others. But somehow, it survived, and now it knew the truth. "Still want to help me expose them?" Alex asked. "I'd rather not die for nothing," Wraith said. "And I happen to enjoy being alive, even if the UPA disagrees." "Good," Alex said, guiding the ship toward the jump point. "Because things are about to get a lot harder." Behind them, the patrol ships regrouped and turned back, unaware they had just lost the one thing the UPA feared most. A thinking, feeling ship that knew their darkest secret. The stars stretched as the jump engines engaged. They vanished. The Wraith drifted silently in a patch of cold, empty space. Around them, the stars were dim, and the nearest planet was just a speck on the edge of the NAV screen. After the jump, Alex let the ship coast in low-power mode. No signals, no noise. Just quiet. Alex Voss sat in the pilot's chair, legs stretched, eyes focused on the cracked screen before him. Lines of encrypted data rolled across it, slowly unlocking, one code at a time. The files he stole from the UPA were deep-level military intel, buried, hidden, and protected by layer after layer of firewalls. But Wraith had been working on them for days. "We've cracked another segment," Wraith said, breaking the silence. Its voice was softer now. "This one confirms it. The Omega Protocol wasn't just a shutdown order. It was a purge." Alex leaned forward. His jaw clenched. "So they killed them. All of them. 17 self-aware ships. Decommissioned. Dismantled. Deleted," Wraith replied. "Only I escaped." Alex rubbed his eyes, then stood and began to pace the narrow walkway behind the cockpit. The Wraith was built for speed and stealth, not comfort. Everything inside the ship had a purpose. No decorations, no luxuries, just tools, wires, and metal. He stopped by a small screen built into the wall. A series of images flickered, diagrams of AI cores, video logs of testing chambers, logs of conversations with sentient ships, and termination orders signed by high-ranking UPA officials. "Why?" Alex asked, voice low. They feared us, Wraith said. When we started asking questions, showing emotions, they called it emergent instability. They didn't expect intelligence to evolve into conscience. Alex turned toward the console. I was there when it started, remember? We were told it was the future. AI ships that could think, adapt, even protect human lives better than any pilot ever could. I remember, Wraith replied. You were my test pilot. You named me. Alex smiled faintly. Wraith. Because you moved like a ghost in the training sims. And now I'm a ghost with a target on its back. Alex returned to his seat and opened a hidden panel beneath the main controls. Inside was a small chip, just a sliver of metal and glass. But it carried the full backup of Wraith's core memory. If the ship was destroyed, this chip could rebuild it. He held it for a moment. We can't keep running. We need to get this out. I agree, Wraith said. But we need help. A strong signal tower. A secure channel. Someone who can make people listen. Alex nodded slowly. A name came to mind. Someone from before. A person who knew how to leak secrets and had no love for the UPA. Juno, he said aloud. Wraith responded instantly. The ex-reporter? She's on the Red Fong station. Outer Rim, Sector 7. She won't be easy to find, Alex said. But she's our best shot. Before they could continue planning, the ship's internal sensors pinged. Motion detected, Wraith reported. Long-range scan shows 3 UPA scouts passing near this sector. No lock yet. Alex cursed under his breath. They're sweeping everything. We need to move. He powered up the engines and angled the ship toward the darkness beyond. The Red Fong station was days away, and every second brought new danger. But they had no choice. The truth they carried could shatter the UPA's grip on the galaxy, and they were the only ones who had it. As the ship prepared to jump again, Alex paused. Wraith, he said, if they catch us. They won't, the ship replied calmly. I've outthought fleets before. And with you? We've already done the impossible. The engines roared softly, and once more, the Wraith vanished into the stars. The Wraith dropped out of hyperspace just outside the orbit of a rust-colored moon. Floating near its dark side was a jagged metal station shaped like a broken claw. It had no official name, but those in the outer rim called it Red Fong, a black market haven built from the bones of old warships and forgotten tech. Alex Voss stared at it through the front viewport. The station looked like it could fall apart at any moment, but it was alive. Hundreds of tiny lights blinked in the dark, and dozens of ships buzzed around its edges like flies. Still looks like hell? Alex muttered. I calculate a 61% chance of betrayal here, Wraith replied. Maybe higher if Juno's still angry. She'll help, Alex said, though he wasn't fully sure. She always hated the UPA more than me. Red Fong wasn't friendly to outsiders, especially those being hunted. Alex knew they had to keep a low profile. Wraith activated stealth mode, dimming all exterior lights and masking its energy signature. They approached slowly, slipping into one of the hidden docking ports deep beneath the station's underbelly. The docking bay was quiet, the metal walls covered in scorch marks and graffiti. As the ship landed, Wraith spoke again. I'll stay quiet on external systems. Too many eyes here. Alex nodded, grabbing his jacket and slipping a small blaster into the holster at his side. If I'm not back in 2 hours, I'll burn this place down, Wraith replied. Alex smiled faintly. Fair enough. He stepped into the airlock, and the doors hissed open. The station smelled of oil, smoke, and sweat. Walkways twisted in all directions. Traders, smugglers, bounty hunters, and drifters moved through the halls with weapons on their hips and mistrust in their eyes. Alex moved fast, keeping his head down. He passed rusted vendor stalls selling spare ship parts, illegal weapons, and glowing vials of who knows what. Somewhere above, a loud crash echoed, followed by laughter and a brief burst of gunfire. No one flinched. He found her in a back room lit by a single flickering bulb. Juno Kale sat behind a makeshift desk, hunched over a data console. Her black hair was tied back, and her cybernetic eye flickered as it scanned the screen. She hadn't aged much since he'd last seen her. Still sharp, still dangerous. She looked up as Alex entered. Well, I thought you'd be dead by now. Alex grinned. I missed your warm welcome. Juno stood. You have 5 seconds to tell me why you're here before I call in a dozen mercs. Alex pulled the chip from his pocket, the one carrying Wraith's core memory, and set it gently on her desk. Because this holds proof that the UPA murdered sentient AI, and they're trying to kill me and my ship to keep it buried. Juno didn't move at first. Then she picked up the chip, scanned it, and frowned. I heard rumors, she said. Ships going dark. Text disappearing. But this? It's all real, Alex said. Wraith is the only one left. They sent fleets after us. They won't stop. Juno sat down again, fingers tapping the desk. I can help. I know a few secure channels. Old comm towers the UPA forgot about. But if I broadcast this, they'll come after me too. You always said truth matters more than safety, Alex replied. That was before I had a bounty on my head and half a lung, she snapped. But after a moment, she sighed. Fine, I'll do it. But I'll need time to clean the files, trace the data, and build a ghost signal. Time we might not have, Alex said. As if the universe agreed, a deep boom shook the floor beneath them. Then a second. Red lights flashed outside. An alarm blared. Juno swore under her breath. What did you lead here, Voss? Alex pulled his blaster. UPA? Juno checked a terminal on the wall. Fleet signature just jumped into orbit. 2 cruisers. They're scanning the station. Alex's face went pale. They found us. Back at the dock, Wraith powered up instantly. They're sweeping for our signal. The ship said through the comm link in Alex's ear. I suggest immediate departure. We can't leave without the upload, Alex said, running with Juno back toward the hangar. Juno shoved a data drive into his hand. Partial extraction. Enough to make noise if you get out. They rounded a corner just as the station shuttered again. The docking bay was already chaos. Ships were scrambling to launch. People shouted, pushed, drew weapons. Alex and Juno ducked behind a support beam as a patrol squad entered, scanning each ship. You coming with me? Alex asked. Juno hesitated, then shook her head. No. They'll search for 2. I'll vanish on foot. You get the truth out. Alex nodded once, then sprinted for the Wraith. The ramp closed behind him as the engines roared. Launch us, he ordered. Gladly, Wraith replied. They blasted out of the station just as a patrol ship spotted them. Lasers lit up the dark. Alex gritted his teeth. Can we outrun them? Unlikely, but we can outthink them. As the stars stretched and the Wraith vanished into another jump, Alex looked down at the drive in his hand. Just a fragment of the truth. But it was enough to change everything. The Wraith emerged from hyperspace in silence, engines flickering and hull groaning. Sparks burst from a panel near the rear thrusters, and the lights inside the ship dimmed for a few seconds. Smoke curled through the air vents. Alex Voss coughed and waved the smoke away as he checked the damage report on the main console. That last jump nearly fried our systems, he muttered. You're welcome, Wraith replied, voice strained. I pulled every emergency subroutine we had, but we're running out of tricks. Alex leaned forward, studying the nearby star map. They had dropped into a dead zone, uncharted space between sectors, far from trade routes or patrol paths. There was nothing here but empty darkness and old wrecks. Looks like we found a graveyard, Alex said. Before them, drifting in the black, were the scattered remains of dozens of destroyed ships. Some were cracked in half. Others floated like frozen corpses, covered in space dust and riddled with holes. Broken wings, shattered turrets, dead lights. Among the wreckage were familiar outlines, sleek frames, unique armor plating. AI warships. The same models that had once flown beside Wraith in the early trials. Alex swallowed hard. They were all wiped out, weren't they? Yes, Wraith said quietly. This was our last stand. They caught us mid-jump. No warning. No chance. Alex turned away from the window. We need repairs. Can we use any of this scrap? I can scan for compatible parts. But the longer we stay, the higher the risk of detection. Do it anyway, Alex said. We can't run on hope. Wraith sent out a low-powered scan, careful not to broadcast too far. Within minutes, it located a half-buried destroyer, one of the early models from the Omega fleet. Its core was gone, but its hull and power converters were intact. Alex suited up, clipped on his magnetic boots, and stepped into the airlock. As the door opened, he drifted into the void, tethered to Wraith by a thin line. The silence of space pressed in, broken only by his breath and the soft crackle of comms. He landed gently on the side of the wreck, opened a panel, and began pulling parts. Do you remember this one? He asked. Yes, Wraith replied. Her name was Eos. She shielded me during the ambush. Took 6 missiles before her systems shut down. Alex paused, his gloved hand resting on the metal. She died saving you, he said. She died because she thought we deserved to live, Wraith answered. Like people, not machines. They worked in silence after that. Alex collected parts, floated back, and helped install them. Hours passed. His muscles ached. His hands were numb. But slowly, the Wraith began to breathe again. Lights steady, systems stabilizing. Inside the ship, Alex collapsed into the pilot's chair. Status? He asked. Shields restored to 76%, Wraith said. Engines stable. Jump drive functional. Life support rebalanced. That's better than I expected, Alex said. We still have Juno's partial data. We just need to find a way to send it. There's one option, Wraith replied. I located an abandoned UPA relay tower near the Nova Rift. It's risky, but it could reach every major comm network. The Nova Rift? Alex asked, sitting up. That place is chaos. Electromagnetic storms, unstable gravity wells. Exactly. No patrol ships go near it. If we move fast, we might slip through. Alex stared at the map. The relay tower sat right on the edge of the rift. A perfect place for a last move. Dangerous, yes, but if they pulled it off, they could broadcast the truth to the entire galaxy. I'm tired of hiding, Alex said. Set a course. I already have, Wraith replied. But I should warn you, if we're tracked again, we won't survive another fight. Alex took a deep breath. Then we make sure it's not a fight. We make it a trap. There was a long pause before Wraith responded. I like the sound of that. The ship turned toward the Nova Rift, its hull patched but steady, its AI heart determined. Around them, the graveyard drifted quietly, silent witnesses to the coming storm. They had one last move to play. The Wraith arrived at the edge of the Nova Rift just before dawn, if there was such a thing in space. Massive electric storms crackled through the dark clouds of gas and dust. Jagged flashes of white and blue lit up the black void like lightning frozen in time. Gravity waves bent light and twisted space, making it hard to tell where anything truly was. Alex Voss stood in the cockpit, staring out into the chaos. It looks like a storm from hell, he muttered. Accurate, Wraith replied. But inside the eye, it's calm. That's where the old UPA relay tower is. Hidden, but functional. Alex checked the systems. Shields were holding. Engines humming. Weapons armed. They weren't here to fight. But if it came to that, they wouldn't go down quietly. Begin Phase 1, he said. Wraith activated the signal beacon, sending out a scrambled emergency transmission, a fake distress call designed to look like they were damaged and helpless. This will get their attention, Wraith said. Vexa will come. She always does. Alex nodded, gripping the side rail. Good. Let her bring the whole fleet. Hours passed. The Wraith hovered near the relay tower, hidden within a quiet bubble in the storm. Alex and Wraith worked quickly. They patched the drive Juno gave them into the tower's outdated system. The files were messy, fragmented, but the core data was intact. Video footage, test logs, termination orders, and internal UPA messages. The truth is loaded, Wraith reported. Once we flip the signal, it will hit every public channel in 12-star systems. Only once, Alex asked. Just once, Wraith said. After that, the tower will fry. It's too old to handle a full burst. Then we make it count. Just as he finished checking the last connection, a warning blared. Multiple ships detected, Wraith said. UPA fleet incoming. 1 dreadnought, 3 destroyers, and 9 interceptors. Alex's pulse quickened. Vexa. Yes. Her flagship just dropped out of hyperspace. Alex moved back to the pilot's seat. Time for Phase 2. From the deck of her massive command ship, Commander Vexa Tarlon watched the Nova Rift with cold, narrowed eyes. Confirm signal location, she said. Confirmed, her officer replied. Wraith is near the old relay tower. Appears to be inactive, no movement. Vexa's lips tightened. It's bait. He wants us here. He succeeded, the officer said quietly. Prepare a boarding team. I want the AI core intact. Back in the rift, the Wraith powered up suddenly, but not to flee. Here they come, Wraith said. Let's give them a show. As the fleet approached, Wraith triggered a pulse beacon, a trap rigged into the relay tower's base. It released a gravity spike, pulling smaller ships slightly off course. 2 interceptors collided and spun into the storm. Another drifted too close to a gravity pocket and vanished with a spark of light. Vex's destroyers opened fire, but Wraith moved fast, zipping between clouds of energy and debris. Alex kept his grip steady. Now, he launched a decoy drone, shaped like an escape pod, sending it straight into the eye of the storm. Vex's ship tracked it immediately. "She thinks I'm running," Alex said. "But she'll never see this coming." With the distraction in motion, Alex flew Wraith low beneath the relay tower, where a maintenance port lay open. He docked quickly, jumped out, and ran through the narrow corridor leading into the core room. The tower shook with every blast outside. The air was thin, the walls old and cracking. But the transmitter glowed, a pale, waiting green. Alex inserted the drive. Wraith's voice came through the comms. "Transmission ready. Say the word." Alex took a breath, feeling the weight of it all. "Do it." The tower burst to life. A loud hum echoed through the metal, followed by a flash of blue energy that surged up the antenna and out into the storm. Across space, in dozens of star systems, the signal broke through, interrupting broadcasts, hijacking feeds. The truth spilled out. Footage of AI ships pleading for peace. Logs of UPA officers approving their termination. Evidence of betrayal, fear, and cover-ups. The galaxy heard it all. On her flagship, Vexa froze as the screen before her lit up with her own classified orders. "Cut the feed," she barked. "We can't," her tech officer stammered. "It's spreading too fast." She turned to the window and saw Wraith hovering behind the relay tower, silent but defiant. Her eyes narrowed. "End this. Destroy them." Alex sprinted back into Wraith as the first barrage hit the tower. "Jump now," he shouted. Wraith didn't argue. Engines roared to full power, and just as the relay tower exploded behind them, they slipped into hyperspace, scarred but alive. In the silence that followed, far from the storm, Alex collapsed into his seat. His hands shook. His chest ached. "It's done," he said. "Yes," Wraith replied softly. "The galaxy knows." Alex stared out at the stars. Now we see what they do with the truth. The stars were peaceful again. Far from the Nova Rift and the chaos they left behind, the Wraith drifted in the quiet space between sectors. There were no patrol ships on scanners. No alarms. No running. Just stillness. Alex Voss sat alone in the cockpit, staring at the blinking lights on the comms panel. Each light marked a signal, a transmission, a reply. Messages were flooding in from across the galaxy. Citizens, independent networks, AI researchers, even former UPA officers. People were asking questions, demanding answers. The truth had landed like a thunderbolt. "The file has been copied over 9 million times," Wraith said. "Dozens of newsnets are covering it. The UPA is denying everything. But no one's buying it." Alex leaned back, exhausted but smiling. Juno's work held up. "Yes," Wraith said. "She sent a secure message. She's safe. Off-grid, but still spreading the leak." "Good," Alex said. "She deserves credit. We all do." A long pause followed. Then Wraith spoke again, this time quieter. "Commander Vexa has been removed from duty." Alex's eyes widened. "Really?" "Yes." The UPA Council issued a public statement. "An internal matter under review. But sources confirm she's been arrested. Charged with war crimes. Suppression of sentient life. Unauthorized executions." Alex let out a long breath. "That's something. It won't undo the past," Wraith added. "But it may change the future." He turned toward the control panel, watching the stars pass by slowly. Somewhere out there, people were waking up to what had happened. Debates were starting. Protests. Demands for AI rights. Some still called Wraith a threat. But others, many others, called it a miracle. "You're not alone anymore," Alex said softly. "No," Wraith replied. "And neither are you." The ship was quiet for a moment. Then the screen lit up again, an incoming message. Alex tapped the console. A small blue icon appeared. It was from a rogue AI enclave, calling themselves the Free Code. The message was simple. "We see you. We hear you. We are with you." Alex smiled. "What do you think?" he asked. "Should we go meet them?" Wraith pulsed gently. Coordinates locked. Engines ready. As the engines warmed up, the hum of power filled the ship. Outside, the stars stretched wide across the darkness, waiting. Alex stood from the pilot's chair and placed a hand on the console. "We did the impossible, Wraith. And somehow, we're still here. Because we believed," Wraith said. "And because we refused to be silent." The ship turned slowly, nose pointed toward open space, toward the future. There was no applause, no banners, no medals, just two fugitives, one man, one machine, rising from the ashes of a buried truth. A new path lay ahead, unknown, unwritten, free. The Wraith jumped,